Hey chat, the days are getting shorter, and I thought I would like talk about ways to involve yourself in self care that doesn't really involve um, socializing because like it's cold and shit. I don't want to socialize. If you're in the other side of the world, what's up? Sit bookmark this for 6 months. But for my northern hemisphere, baby dolls and big dogs, I got the architect, which says while problems and even seemingly impossible challenges may be arising, this may be the opportunity to create something new or take a different path to your goal. Be careful not to simply jump onto a new direction just because you desire the outcome, because the foundation will not be sound. Are you ready to dedicate yourself to the making and development required? The architect reminds us to be the maker of our own destiny, but to plan carefully and deeply before we set forward on construction. I'm sick, bro. I'm doing my best. And then I got the Liberator in reverse. And this is about acting and making decisions completely alone. There's this hope or breakthrough for opportunity coming, but there's a chance for false hope, so be astute in your choosing. A strong optimistic nature. So freedom, trust, and hope. It's feeling like there's this feeling of constriction that is like making it difficult to develop a strong foundation for yourself that would allow you to grow in a meaningful way that would facilitate like peace. Ugh. Hate that for you. What's that like? I say sufferingly. This is gonna be a bigger spread. I don't give a fuck. I do give a fuck. I lie to seem cool. Last quarter in Pisces, or first quarter in Pisces, is giving that there's this development of emotional intelligence that is still pretty fucking rocky. That first stage is like really tough. Like when you get to the last levels of emotional intelligence, you're able to kind of like hold, analyze, and move forward. But the first stage is just raw emotion, and sometimes navigating through those emotions is very difficult. You're going to need to have some kind of structure involved in that. The opposition, fixed, cardinal, Grand Cross, Aquarius, solar eclipse energy. So, even with the Liberator, and I said that this is like a less social time in conjunction, this is just like energies, bro. I'll flip through them while I'm talking. You might need to find some way to connect to your community. So, it might be like looking through, like, I'm getting like community boards like Reddit, or like maybe reaching out to somebody. Maybe not for all the answers, but just for something, right? I know the days are getting longer and you might find yourself inside more, so you can't really engage in outdoor activities that would ground you. I think you still need to have some aspect of community to help you kind of disseminate some of these emotions. Um, Something interesting about emotional regulation when you come from a background of childhood trauma, or like there's a bunch of reasons why you would not have had the opportunity to co-regulate with someone else. Like before you can emotionally regulate by yourself, you typically need other people to bounce those feelings off of, so that you have a better idea of like how to move through it together. It's typically a parent's role, but if your parents are like emotionally immature, negligent, or abusive, you never had that opportunity to really like experience that exchange of like communication to like better understand your feelings. You might need to have a social aspect that'll allow you to do that. I feel like that's a way to kind of build up that foundation too, with the liberator kind of coming out. It's like, in reverse, it's like, it's definitely work that you'll need to tackle on your own on some degree, like because no one else is like in your own head. But like, it's giving that, let's see. Yeah, it's easy to feel like really hopeless and like you're incapable of doing this, but like even having those like emotional reactions are things that you can kind of like look into and read into and get more um intellectual output from. Like, why does it feel hopeless? Like, what made you feel in the past that like this task is something that was impossible? And examine those feelings and examine those memories. And it's like really tough. It's like really drudging through the fucking trenches in order to like get those types of answers. But if you're like uh one of the more intellectual placements, which you probably are because you're so damn smart, you can find um yeah, the answers will just start to flow towards you. And it's really up to you if you want to like um, take them in. In the meantime, just kind of like identifying the emotions is the hard part, because until you can kind of like draw a name to them, it just feels like conflict. You're just feeling all of the things over and over again. So journaling can be helpful. Getting one of those like a graph that kind of like lists different names of emotions, or you might want to like Google like um, like mood chart or something like that, so that you can kind of like really like pick it out. Like one of the real basic ones too, like they give for autistic children, where there's like facial expressions with the word underneath, because unless you're able to like really kind of like identify the feeling, it's kind of hard to even understand what's sitting with you. And until you have like a name for it, it just feels like it just feels like screaming. And it's like, oh, I don't love that. Don't love that. Hate it, actually. Hit a couple of these story cards and I'm gonna call it caught. Whew. Risk first. The first time you kind of sit with like your guilt, it feels like dangerous. Especially like if in the past you were like overly punished for kind of like owning up to things. This is what I'm getting from it. You might find the more that you kind of like express, that like the response you get is like way less severe than it was in the past. It's honestly a red flag that like when you share your emotions, somebody like gives you shit for it. That's generally a fucked up person that you don't really need to spend energy on or with. You might be surprised that like forgiveness flows a lot easier, especially if you've worked really hard to kind of like curate a space with people that you actually fuck with. But the hard part is really going to just be convincing yourself that there is a safe space in all this bullshit. And it's like a hard sell, based on the way the world is, but it's going to be really essential for your healing to like have trust, not necessarily in the world, but in yourself, that you can open up, and not to necessarily everyone, because some people, like I said, suck, but to know that you can open up and find acceptance. That's a bar, bitch. I'm Garfy Godot. Links are around. Get a reading or Reiki if this resonated with you, and I can kind of like help you navigate through this a little better. But for now, bye bye.